I made a bird language. It's called and it's only spoken through whistling. If you're in the talking stage with someone and you're not analyzing text data from your online conversations to find out more about your relationship, this is how you do it. One of my main intrusive thoughts as a linguist is that I sometimes fantasize about leaving hidden cameras and microphones everywhere so I can secretly record everyone having conversations around me. Not for anything weird though. I added interjections to my bird language. They all use slurs.
We don't know what a word is. We don't know what a syllable is. We don't know what a sentence is. And we have no idea how grammar works.
You're so skibbity. You're so phantom tax.
How do you translate something? I don't know. We haven't figured it out.
With heterolingualism, you only speak other people's languages. Ja sam odrastao heterojezičan I nemam pojma šta govorim. Heterolingualism, try today. Apparently lobsters pee out of their eyes to communicate. So I made a lobster language that includes eye peeing. It's called
There's a theory that there's a critical period of language acquisition. My question is, why are there people out there wasting their critical period on Flemish? Now you can only talk to other people in Belgium.
In the interjections, what the sigma or what the skibbity, the words sigma and skibbity serve as expletives intensifying the interrogative what.
What's a language? No clue. Where did languages come from? We have no idea. Does anyone else out there sort of get the urge to linguistically manipulate your future children?
I made Japanese into a real language. Have you ever wondered why Ben Shapiro talks like this? Babies are more likely to repeat something if you say it over and over again while maintaining eye contact. That's why every time I interact with my future baby, I'm gonna lean over them and I'm gonna say pop, 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 pop. More people have been to Berlin than you have. You wouldn't expect the sentence, the young boy the boat, to be grammatically correct. And you'd be right because it's not. I made a dolphin language. Use positive and negative reinforcement to pair stimuli with the behavior you want. For example, every time my kid makes a P sound, I'll give him a little smile. And every time my kid makes an M sound, I'll lock him in the closet for a week. Any word that can be used to talk about the concept of language falls under the second declension, and every noun in the second declension ends with your head exploding. I think one of the funniest features of the English language is that it discriminates against bottoms. I made a number system for my dolphin language. This is your sign not to learn French. It's actually a constructed language made up by linguists as a practical joke in the 1800s. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a voiceless pharyngeal fricative, which is close to an H but articulated in the pharynx. Added a clout particle to my bird language. People change how they talk when they know they're being recorded. But covert surveillance could give me exactly what I need to do some really groundbreaking dialect analysis. Watson ejaculates the word wonderful in Sherlock Holmes. And Ron Weasley ejaculates loudly in Harry Potter. I made a Creole out of my bird and dolphin languages. If you're not linguistically manipulating your friends over time to subtly change their vocabulary, this is how you do it. Huge day for all English enthusiasts. They just dropped English 2. Compare with your control subjects. See exactly how the conversations with your romantic interests deviate from those with your friends. For example, the subset of people who I know have been attracted to me tend to exhibit a 58% increase in extremely positive text sentiment. They also show a statistically significant increase in the number of O's coming at the end of LMAO. In what is sure to be a controversial move among modality apologists, we phased out the subjunctive entirely. So I get used to that if I was you. Okay, here I go. Yup, yap, yap. Yap, yap, yap. Yap, yap, yap. Yap, 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 yap. If you're dominant, you have control over the sub, which means you're above them. One of you little scoundrels out there made an uwu language, and I'm honestly so impressed. If you want to say, do you want to kiss me, with emphasis on me, you move the interrogative particle to the antepenultimate position to reflect the stress on the object. So you would say, whoa, 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 oh, oh. There's no rule saying you have to write English using the English alphabet. Oh no, my dolphin bird Creole fused into my lobster language to make a dolphin bird lobster pigeon language. It's called but that's not the full name yet, because this is the world's first 4-dimensional language.
Wake up, babe. New consonant just dropped.
Memes have always been a form of cultural currency, but if anything, this effect is amplified on 4chan, which is exactly why it gave us words like copy pasta, shitpost, and rickrolling to describe types of memes that originated on that website. In sentences like, what is blood doing, or blood thought he did something, blood is the subject, and you can just replace it with the word he. You can say, bro needs the Zaza, making it the subject. Or you can say, give bro the Zaza, making it the object. When someone asks you for the story of your life, you're gonna tell it in stages with characters, but you'll leave out people and experiences that you don't want to define you. And a lot of our institutions feed into this process. The only way to get into college or get a job is to pretend that your life has a narrative structure, which it doesn't. Okay, if you breathe, listen up. I found this YouTube video called A Single Waluigi Wah. Let's hear it. So I compared every word in the online Minion dictionary, and the translation for I'm hungry is me want banana, while the translation for ugly is bananonima. Assuming these are cognates, this implies that Minion culture stigmatizes eating and is probably fatphobic. That third sound just set the temporal endpoint for measuring relative time of articulation, so now we can start deciphering the real name of the language. Step 1, create fake but plausible words, like noxious, meaning good. Step 2, start using it in front of them, infrequently at first to avoid suspicion, but then escalate by increasingly slipping it into casual conversation. Step 3, if you're doing this strategically enough, eventually they should start saying it too. I like to keep track of their progress using a spreadsheet in case I want the data later.
For the record, I am not saying I'd actually do this, but it is interesting to think that I could.
When we say thank you or bless you, you actually mean I thank you. I bless you. And in usual English sentences, you would have to include the subject I. It can be used in very positive situations like love you. It can be used in very negative situations like fuck you, but it can't be used in regular situations.
Once we add the relative locations of articulation for the words air and water, the three sounds I made earlier actually mean an auxiliary constructed pidgin language unifying the creatures of the air with the creatures of the water.